Good morning, guys. Today we're working on independent work, page 1, and it should say day 5 at the top of your page. Alright, we're first going to estimate, then do our area model, then partial products, and then the distributive property of multiplication. Today we have 2-digit by 2-digit numbers. We can see here that there's 2 digits multiplied by 2 digits. Alright, let's estimate. So I have 12. 12 is close to what? 10? 10 or 20? Well, 12 is closer to 10. And then I have 44, which is going to be, is it closer to 40 or 50? 44 is closer to 40. So when I multiply 10 times 40, I'm going to say, alright, I'm going to multiply 1 times 4. That's easy. 1 times 4 is 4. And then I know when I multiply and I have a 0 at each of the ends of the numbers in the ones place, that I will have a 0 in the ones place and the tens place. I also could count by tens 40 times, and I'm still going to end up at 400. Alright, next we'll make our area model. Because we have 2-digit number, 12, times 44, and make sure you're writing the actual equation that we had here, and not the estimate. Because I've seen a few people start to do the estimate in their area model, which isn't necessary because we've already found the answer to our estimate. So we're doing 12 times 44. So I have a 2-digit number times a 2-digit number. So in my area model, it's no longer a long skinny box. Now we have the ones place. These numbers will both have the ones place from one of our numbers, and the tens place. And then on the side, we will have the ones place and the tens place. So I'm going to say, all right, in my number 12, I have 110 plus 2. That equals 12. 110 plus 2. Then in my other number, 44, I have 40 plus 4. And that equals 44. Okay, so as we do this, I'm going to show you. I did them in different colors so that we can see where each part goes. So when we multiply, we will start in the ones. However, it works no matter what order you do them in. So I will start and I will say, okay, I'm going to start in my ones place. 2 is represented in this space right here. 2 times, and then I say, okay, over here, this space is representing 4. So that will be 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is, then we have this space, which is representing 10. So we're going to write 10 there, times this space, which is representing 4. So when I can do that in my head, 10 times 4, 10, 20, 30, 40, is 40. And we're going to move up here. This space, even though it's large, is representing 2 ones. We're going to multiply that by this side, which is representing 40. So now I have 2 times 40. The easiest way for me to solve 2 times 40 is to add 40 2 times. So when I add 40 plus 40, I get 80. So 80 will go in this box to represent 2 times 40. And then I have 10 times, and this side represents 40. And so then again, I'm going to say, all right, 1 times 4 is 4. And then I can see that I have 2 zeros in the ones place, so 1 will go in the ones place and 1 will go in the tens place. So I have 10 times 40 is 400. There we go. Now I'm going to add these all up. I'm going to start with 400. Then I'm going to add 80. And I'm going to add 40. And then I'm going to add 8. I started with the largest number so that I could see that I can line up all of my digits. So when I wrote this, all of my ones were underneath the ones place in the 400. All of my tens were underneath the tens place in 400. Okay. And as I add down here, I'm going to make sure that they remain in those lines. And if I'm really struggling adding 4 numbers, I can always make some other lines here, but they have to be straight. You could also use your graphic organizer. So 8 plus nothing is 8. 0 plus 8 plus 4 is 8. And then I'm going to count up 4. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 4 plus 1 is 5. So when we look at our answer and we look at our estimate, they're not that close. Okay? And this is because in multiplication, when we are estimating, we estimated both of these numbers to be lower than the actual number. And because in multiplication it can get bigger so much faster, it will be probably quite a bit bigger because we took away 2 groups from this one every time and 4 groups from this one every time. So it can get, our estimate can be a little off. But I'm also going to do partial products so that I can see, okay, as I multiply, I should get the same answer for partial products. So as we're doing partial products, I really want to help you stay organized. Okay, so I'm going to draw my line right under the O all the way down. Okay, and I know that I'm going to be multiplying my 2-digit numbers. So I'm going to draw a line. This is for my ones place, my tens place, my hundreds place, and then we'll have the thousands over here. So I'm going to quickly write that. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Okay, I was noticing yesterday that some people are really struggling getting the problem in there. So I'm going to write 12 times 44. 12 times 44. And I know that I have 4 parts when I'm multiplying a 2-digit by 2-digit, so I need to save quite a bit of room over here. Okay, if that's hard for you, again, we can draw a line here. Okay, so there's going to be my first number that I'm multiplying, my second number, my third number, and my fourth number. And then my answer will go down here at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to write this out first. I'm going to use different colors as I multiply. So we're going to start in the ones place. We're going to circle 2 times 4. So that will go over here where we're writing our multiplication. So remember, in parentheses, I have 2 times 4. And 2 times 4, as I see over here, is 8. So 8 is going to go in our ones place. Then I'm going to switch colors so you can see the next thing that we do. Next, we're going to multiply 1 times 4. But it's not 1, it's 110. So 110 is 10. We're multiplying 10 times 4. And I'm putting that in parentheses. 10 times 4 is 40. So my 0 goes in the ones place and my 4 goes in the tens place. Next, we're going to switch and go the other way because over here we've already done 2 times 4. I'm going to color that in red. And we did 10 times 4, which I'm going to color in orange. So there are those two. Here's 10 times 4 and 2 times 4. So next, I'm going to be doing 2 times 40. So I'm going to circle that over here. 2 times 40 will go the opposite way. So you kind of have an X circled in the numbers. So now we have 2 times 40. Or you could write 40 times 2. Either way is the same. So 2 times 40 is 80. So my 0 is going in the tens and in the ones, and my 8 is going in the tens. The last thing that we're going to do is multiply 10 times 40. So 10 times 40, and that is right here. I'm circling it. I'm circling my 1 and 4 because those are 110 and 4 tens, which is 10 times 40. 10 times 40 is 400 because I know that when there is 2 zeros, those are going to be in my ones, my tens place, and then 1 times 4 is 4. Here we have our blue area from our area model, and here we have our green area. I hope that's easy for you to see. The last thing we're going to do is add up all of the partial products. So we're starting in the ones place. 8 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 8. Nothing plus 4 plus 8. We're going to start with the 8 and count up 4. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm going to put my 2 here in the tens place and carry my 1 up here and make it kind of small. And I'm going to say, okay, 4 plus 1 is 5. So my answer is 528. Good job, guys. I just love how colorful this is. Lastly, we're going to talk about the distributive property of multiplication. So I intentionally color-coded this as we were going through so that you could see where each of the parts in the partial products came from in the area model. And in doing so, we highlighted 2 times 4, which is right here, 10 times 4, which is right here, 20 times 40, which is right here, 10 times 40, which is right here. That right there is the distributive property. When we're multiplying each part, we're going to say, okay, well, if I first take 2 times 4, I know that's staying together because it happened in one box in the area model. I first multiplied my ones times my ones, which again, I can see right here. My ones times my ones was 2 times 4. Then I did 10 times 4. So my next step was 10 times 4. Then I'm going to add these two parts together because we cannot have our whole answer unless we're putting each of the 4 parts together. So you'll notice, yep, we already did 2 times 4. We already did 10 times 4. So next will be 2 times 40 plus 2 times 40. And then last, we're going to do 10 times 40. So 10 times 40. And I need to add them together. Now, it doesn't matter if we write it from the smallest to the biggest or the biggest to the smallest. So another way that would also be appropriate is 10 times 40. This one. Plus 2 times 40. Plus 10 times 4. Plus 2 times 4. There's all 4 of them. So either way, it is correct. We can also see all 4 of those over here as our multiplication to our partial products. Okay, I know that was long, but I'm super proud of you. I will have the next 3 problems posted for tomorrow morning.